I am so happy to see you all back on the big screen again because Ghostbusters is just one of those franchises that people are still just so attached to this day. So, what do you think it is about it that people just love?
Well, I think it's one of those rare movies that can cross generations. And I find old people in the 80s and 90s watching it with their grandkids and their great grandkids. And I see them all together laughing. It's one of those films that brings people together. There's so many things that's happening that sort of separates us, and we don't think others understand or whatever. But Ghostbusters is one of those films that we can all come together on, and that is very special.
And one thing I really enjoy is just to see where Winston's story has gone from the beginning to now, because I know you've spoken in the past about how when you joined, your storyline was going to be one thing and then it kind of became something different. So are you happy with where he's ended up now?
I am, and I really have to give credit to the filmmakers, Jason and Gil, but also Sony. Sony's not the same studio it was 40 years ago, thankfully, and they've sort of heard my concerns. And I love the fact that in 40 years, Winston has grown. He's done very well for himself. He came looking for a job, and now he's the CEO of Zetamore Industries, and still loves ghostbusting. So it's a lot for me to play, and I think it sets a good example, certainly in the African American communities. It's just, or just the not just African American, but just people of color all over, to see this guy evolve and be the best that he can be. So I'm very, very proud of that.
And one of your new cast members that you shared quite a few scenes with, and is Winston's kind of protege, shall we say, is played by James Acaster. What was it like working with him? Because I've been a massive fan of his for quite a while, and he just seems like such a riot.
He's a lot of fun. I was so happy to be able to, I love actors, and when people are good at what they do, and he is such a joy for me to be able to work with him. It brings so much to the project, and I think all the new actors to the Ghostbusters were all excited to be a part of this Ghostbuster experience. And James is just a joy. I'm so happy he's in the movie.
And I don't know if you remember this, but 10 years ago nearly, you came to one of the very first Dublin Comic Con conventions. And, it's been 10 years now. So would you think of coming back?
I'd love to come back. I had such a wonderful time. And I will say, the people there were the nicest, the best sense of humor. Honestly, I mean, everybody, it was just, I had a great time. My wife and I came, and she talks about it all the time. So we're looking forward to coming back.
Oh, definitely. We'll have to try and make that happen. But I'd imagine that, because we actually have like Dublin Bus runs a tourist attraction that's a ghost bus tour. So I can only imagine that people will be trying to take you on that.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. And I think people ask me a lot of times, how do I see the Ghostbuster franchise moving? I'd love to see it expand now beyond New York to places like, Ireland, and yeah, because I'm sure you have your share of ghost stories happening there. So.
Oh.